thing was bowed as hell out of there, wasn't it? It's gonna have to get a straight edge on that tile. All right, so this job just keeps getting better and better. So one thing with these old homes, this is old plaster walls, or a combination of plaster and drywall. So we have a lot wider opening, and I already knew this because the other tub I remembered being much wider. So we got like 61.5 inches. Our tub's only 60 inches. So we're gonna have to shim out the walls. And the other thing is that Delta tub had a weird kind of bellowed out bottom, and this one is straight. So, you know, I have like a good inch gap. I'm trying to, you know, I mean, obviously I could move my faucet over if I wanted to, but I'm going to try to keep it in the same location. But I'm going to have to do something, either tear up the floor and redo it, or do something like this where I just put a piece alongside the tub. I'm going to ask the owner what they think. But really, you know, the way that this isn't even. This is like 1.25 inches to the widest gap. So it's just kind of disappointing, but that's just the way it is. And I don't want to move this whole tub out and then have, like, you know, you basically shimming out the back wall by 2 inches, and I have to move the faucet over and everything else. So all I'm going to do is basically put 1/2 inch plywood, and I'm going to fur out this back wall 1 inch to bring this out. So yeah, about 1 inch, and then 1/2 inch on this side. So 1/2 inch on either side, and then 1 inch on the back. And the other thing you want to pay attention to at this stage is evaluating, because you don't, I mean, you can keep putting this back in, and we're going to have to put the tub back in again to address where the actual ledger board is going to be. But just make sure that this is level, or try to evaluate what you have to do to make it level. But we'll shim everything out first, and then we'll have to, you know, fight with getting it level. Okay, so we're going to add another stud in this corner because there wasn't really a lot here, and once I move this wall out 1 inch, I'm not going to have a whole lot to work with. Okay, so we got the tub placed. So they have these feet on here. So you just want to kind of walk around, make sure this thing isn't moving. For one, make sure that the floor is somewhat level. So that feels pretty good to me. Everything's kind of sitting right. So you just want to put a level on this and make sure that every angle is level. And we're looking pretty good. So maybe even just check the 4-foot level on the back, and then on the front tub rim we're looking pretty good. So if everything's level, then you can just go ahead and mark your flange, and then we're going to measure down for our support. So we're going to take this out again and put that ledger board down. So we're going to measure down for that ledger board. That's the only thing you need, is just on this back area is a ledger board on the back. And I do want to note one thing, if you come over here. So one thing is I left out the stud here. I'm going to be putting another stud for this to anchor into. And the reason is because this tub can kind of go into the cavity for me to pull it out. If you have framing right here, you're going to have to cut it out in order to get the tub out. Okay, so a tub flange is not all uniform. So you're kind of guessing of how thick this is. So we marked that line, and we're going to try to make it the thickness. Try to gauge it, and we're going to have to put the tub back in to test it and make sure it's sitting right. So we got like 1.75 inches. Yeah, it looks like about 1.75 inches. You have to measure that though, because every one of these are a little bit different. The fiberglass can be thicker in some areas than others. So yeah, 1.75 inches should work. Okay, so we'll just measure down 1.75 inches. Okay, so it's nice and level. Okay, so you can see how this is going to go into the wall cavity. So that's what's going to allow me to be able to slide it in between the two walls. Make sure this is sitting level. That looks good. That looks good. And then I can reach around and I can actually feel the ledger board meeting on top of this ledge. So that's perfect. And I make sure, you know, step in the tub, make sure nothing's moving. And those blocks are right where we are. So we got enough levelness that we don't have to do a mortar bed on this. This particular tub is designed to be able to just go in without having to do a mortar bed. But if you were out of level, you could do two things. One, you can do floor leveler, make it level, and then set the tub. Or two, use a mortar bed and level it out. Now in this situation, with these walls being all tight, it's going to be really tough with a mortar bed, just because maneuvering this in, you're going to like move that mortar around before you get it set. So my advice would be to get the floor level if it's not level, and then set the tub. So you could pretty much floor level, you know, and then in an hour or two set the tub. All right, so we're gonna pull it out again. This was just one tutorial out of 6 tutorials in my tub shower replacement course. I have 6 different steps that are going to help guide you through the process of installing a new tub. Now this was a jacuzzi soaking tub, so this particular one did allow you to just install without mortar. If you do have a tub that is requiring mortar, or you're trying to overcome unlevelness, you can jump into my other course, which you can link. I have linked in the description here. If you're part of my DIY Geek membership program, you'll get all of my courses. So when you purchase this course, you can get into all of the other ones, and you'll be able to get into the details of how to go about doing this with a mortar bed. This is really helpful for those unlevel floors, and I would say majority of tubs I am installing a mortar bed. It does give a really solid foundation to it, so definitely check that out. And I hope that you enroll in the course, because you know my objective is to help you plan, learn, and build your dream bathroom. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.